Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel. If you've already subscribed and whatnot, thanks for supporting me. We've gotten pretty far so far in the short months. I know I was on a break for a couple of months because my computer decided to go, ape shit, So it's not quite fixed yet. So we're not streaming yet on Twitch yet, but we're still able to make videos because if I stream, there's times where my computer just randomly crashes. The CPU's messed up or something, I guess. So, but thanks for supporting me. And for all the new people who are watching the video, go ahead and I guess hit that subscribe, hit that notification button if you want to keep in touch for my future videos. I usually post videos, 3 videos a week, and usually it's best of 3 videos. So I have a sideboard guide at the end of the video, and as always, in the description of the video, you'll have the Aether Hub deck list, so you can port it to your PC Arena easily that way. And you'll also have the text file deck list. So if you're on the mobile Arena, you can copy paste it, export it, whatever, onto the mobile app as well easily. So let's go ahead and get into the deck intro real fast. So this is the best of, so I'm playing this as a best of 1 deck, but you can clearly play it as a best of 3 deck, and that's why I have a sideboard here. But I've been playing it for the sake of the video and what I've been playing it as. I've been playing it as a best of 1 deck. So it's pretty much the mono white aggro deck, or whatever you want. Mono white. It's not the life gain deck. It's the mono white aggro deck with some new cards from StrixHaven. So this card, Elite Spellbinder, it makes it so their cards get more expensive. But the other thing, the reason why I'm running it is because it allows me to look at their hand so I can play around certain things. Like if I want to play this guy, if I see they have an extinction event, I'm not going to go ahead and drop, 18 even creatures so that they can extinction even. I could also take extinction, so now extinction costs 6 mana. So if I want to put in the super, fast aggressive before they can play extinction, I can do that. And then the other reason why he's in here, because he synergizes with this guy. So I look at their hand first, right? I take exile a card, make it 2 mana cost more. Then I could play Silverquill Silencer, and I can call out a card in their hand. And when they play that card, they lose 3 life, and I draw a card. So these two synergize with each other. This is a 2-drop 3/2, so he's still a good card. And then, like I said, this takes cards out of their hand and makes them more expensive, gives me information. And so that's what I did change-wise to the deck. I added this card. This card's very good in best of 1. So this is why I played it in best of 1, because in best of 1, there's pretty much, for the most part, mono-colored decks. Mono red, mono white life gain, stuff like that. So if you're playing against, obviously, in best of 3, you're probably going to play against like Sultai Ultimatum and stuff like that. So you might not be able to use this as much. But, I mean, I guess you could hit like Wolf of Haven, but, I mean, it's not really good for Wolf of Haven. But, you can easily take this, and I created a best of 3 package here. So, like Drenith and excuse me, Drenith and stuff like that. It's good against the Sultai Ultimatum decks and whatnot. So, but yeah, so we took the mono white shell and we added black to make it Orzhov or black white, and we took some of the new cards from the set and tried it out, since obviously StrixHaven is new to the game. So this is the deck. So let's go ahead and take it on the ladder and see what happens. So far, before we started recording this, it's been testing pretty good. So let's see what happens on the ladder though. All right, let's go play some best of 1 here. Some best of 1. Aggro, mono white, Orzhov. Best of 1. Howie! Howie! Let's see what you got. What you got, Howie? All right, opponent goes first. We have lands and spells. Okay, we keep. All right, we're playing against white versus white. Oh, I'm playing black, but we're playing white versus white. Let's see if the black helps me out here or is a downfall. I think it helps you out in the mirror match because of this card. Oh yeah, I'll take the trade. I'll take the trade. So put this on black, and I can hold up the removal spell. So whatever he plays here, what is that? Exile creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of the turn. Okay. I'm not removing that. I could just Skyclave it if I want. I'd rather just look at their hand first and see what they're playing. I haven't seen that one before. So, ooh. So if he Skyclaves my dude, who cares, right? Because then I can Skyclave his Skyclave and get a token outfit. I have to take this Maul of the Sky so he can't cast it, I think. Protection from choice of your color, who cares? So if he Skyclaves my Spellbinder, that's fine. Then I play Skyclave on his Skyclave, and I get my 3/3 back. Unless he wants to shock here, so you could, oh, you can't even do that because that card costs 2 to play. I was gonna say he could shock and then protect it from white, but that doesn't work because he costs 2 to cast. So nope, it doesn't work. And Mauler is going to be a more devastating card to play against down the road. So, all right, so we got to put this on white, play Skyclave, take care of Skyclave, grab a 3/3, and then play Selfless Savior. Yep. And then Selfless Savior. We have a 3/3 to block his 2/3. He currently can't. I mean, he could. If he shocks, he can cast the Sky or the Maul of the Sky, whatever. But then we have a Skyclave Apparition that we can just take it apart that way. Sure. So I'm taking, what is this, 4 in the air? That's fine. That is a-okay, my friend. You got to use your life as a resource, and we're using our life as a resource. So he hit us for 4. We're going to hit him back for 5. So we're winning the race here, too. We are winning the race. Okay. Let's see. Do I need to do... Yeah, I think I need a... So, let's see. Is the right mana? Yep, okay. I didn't play the Sinkhole here because I want to hold the Vanishing Verse. So, I'm going to take his creature or the Maul. I think I'd take the creature because the Maul costs 4 to animate. Or to equip, I should say. Because he has no creatures in his hand. From what I can see, he has the Angel thing, but that costs 7, and he's only at 5 mana. So he has nothing in play that he can do anything with. So just take the creature. Sure. If he goes ahead and equips it, I can verse the creature off the board if I need to. I think he might just concede if he sees the verse. Okay. That's just game, I guess. I cast this. He can't play the Angel Generator, and then I play the Vanishing Verse to exile. I'm going to do this as a combat trick, though. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attack with these creatures, force him to block, exile Maul of the Skyclave, the artifact. So I get to take care of both his creature and his artifact. So I'm going to take care of both cards off the field. Obviously, you could just Vanishing Verse the creature so you could do more damage, but there's no point to do that. Let's get rid of 2 cards instead of 1. And this should be KO moment. I think this is game over. Just should be game. Sure. There we go. All right, so we're playing some Orzhov in best of 1. Danny Joe, some Orzhov aggro, mono white, whatever. But I added the black too, make it a little better, or I should say, make it a little better for me. All right, so we're playing against a Yorion deck, and I don't have black, so I mean I do have double Seasoned Hallowblade, but not access to any black, given 3 of my cards. I'm gonna keep because I have the double Hallowblade. So I can get aggressive against them pretty fast. And if I draw a single black card, since we're on the play, if I draw a single black card, then Silverquill will start doing stuff. Okay, well that was a bad draw, but all right, we'll keep. I mean, we'll see what happens. All right, Seasoned Hallowblade. Yeah, we could get aggressive enough. I just need, and there's what? I believe 4, 8, 9, 10. I think there's like 12 black sources in the deck, so I just need a single black source of the 12. So. And the fact that double Seasoned Hallowblade, they can't be destroying it is the other reason. So I'm going to hit him for 3 this turn, hit him for 6, and then hit him for 6. And it's just going to be The only exception is Extinction Event. Well, there's our black. So play Seasoned Hallowblade. Attack for 3. Next turn we hit him for 6. And then we'll go from there. Silverquill, I guess I can call maybe Extinction Event or like a Cultivate or something. Probably Extinction Event. Oh, well, they already used Cultivate, so probably, or maybe even now a Shadow's Verdict. We gotta get fast. Gotta get fast to the board. This is a very greedy keep, you know, but it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta play greedy, you know, to try to win the game. And I hate mulliganing, so that's what it is. Oh, okay, this works out perfectly. That was a good draw. Now I can see their hand and then call out Silverquill's effect. See, they had Extinction. They had the Extinction. So yeah, we're definitely taking that and then hitting them for 6. I think we just win the game then. Because we hit them for 6 here. They can Binding the Gods, the Elite Spellbinder. I hit them for 6, cast Silverquill. If I draw another black card, it's an instant win. If I draw another untapped black source, because then I can play 2 Silverquills, and I can call out, say, Extinction Event, and when they play Extinction Event, they take 6 life. Yep, he's gonna kill this Spellbinder. Yep. Okay. Well, that's not what it is. I think I have to play Skyclave here, take the Binding of the Gods so he doesn't get another mana out of this. It also puts another threat on board. It also diversifies my threats, so it's odd and even. So that way when they play Extinction Event, I don't lose everything. And then I can cast Silverquill the following turn and call out like probably either call out Ultimatum or Alrun's Epiphany. Yeah, I think I just have to Skyclave here, unfortunately. I mean, it's not great, but it's how I win. Take Binding of the Gods. He doesn't ramp. He plays Extinction Event. He's going to call even because of Shadowblade. I hit him for 2 with Skyclave Apparition, and then I can play Silverquill. If I draw a black, then it's a guarantee win because then I call Alrun's Epiphany and Sultai Ultimatum, and either one they cast, they lose 3 life. So let's see what happens. I think he knows the writing is on the wall. Yep, he knows the writing's on the wall. So victory. Let's see. Orzhov. Best of 1 Orzhov. Let's see how this works. It's pretty much mono white aggro with the Bant Wolf run. With some black added for like the removal and stuff like that. All right, we get to go first. This is a keepable hand. Turn 1, turn 2, play this. Turn 3, maybe this, or hold this up. But this is a very keepable hand, I guess. That's all. Let's see what we play against, though. They're playing 60 cards and no companion, so most likely aggro, so that will be a good card against them. Obviously, this hand would have been it would have been that much better if we had a 1-drop, but, you know. Selfless Savior, sure. Oh, speaking of, there he is. There he is, the 1-drop. So we're going to do that next turn. Next turn, we're going to cast Aspirant and cast this. I have to probably put this on black. I mean, I'll take 1 if you want to attack me. All right. I might have to put this on black so I could I don't know, white or black. What am I doing? Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. So let's cast this first, so that way I can protect this when I cast it. Okay. Put a counter here. Let's attack. Let's get aggressive. This one, I'm not sure what I'm going to call. Maybe Historian, since he's playing red. I'm assuming he's playing the Historian guy. No, Skyclave. Yeah. My turn. All right, that is kind of lame because now I can't cast multiple spells. So Historian? Is Historian the color I choose? Or the card I choose? Alright, we'll do that. Like I said, I'm assuming they're playing red for Historian. So let's see. If I type in Historian, is this the card? Oh, I actually don't know. I think I need to pull this up real fast to see. Just gotta make sure this is the right card. Blade Historian? Oh, it's called Blade Historian. Blade Historian. There you go. I guess we'll put it on itself. Blade Historian. That's what I was looking for. All right. No attacks. Could have attacked here, sacrifice, and then next turn cast, bring this back, but I could do that next turn also. Oh no! Oh no! Yep. I'm assuming he's taking either Loras or a Verse. Oh no! I mean, what am I saying? I'm assuming he has to take one of those two. We don't have triple snow. Yeah, he takes Loras. That's fine. That's a-okay. Ailsid. All right. My turn. Okay, there's a land. So now we can animate the snow card. I can animate, attack with this. If I need to, sacrifice, or I can exile if he tries to double block. I can even just cast Loras. All right. Is it better just to cast Loras here? Or just hold that up. I could animate, but then put a counter on this. It becomes a 5/4. And then he has to double block sacrifice. That could be bad for me. So I'd have to remove this first before I do that, because otherwise he could just protect something. So let's go to combat, put a counter here. Let's go ahead and attack with this guy. The fact that we both could protect our guys, I guess. I mean, that's fine. It's a 1-for-1 trade. So I can protect it, I guess. And then he'll protect it. I guess he's not protecting it. Okay. Exile target. I guess he wants to protect whatever he plays with this. What is this? Okay. What is he grabbing from this sideboard? Wait, what? Learn. What? I don't get to see the card he gets. Interesting. That's odd. All right, so I'm just going to use this now to force him to use one of his cards. So either Elsid's going to sacrifice, protect it. That's fine. Results. Yep. My turn. Giant Killer, we'll keep that in our hand so we could destroy something. So if I put another counter on this, it becomes a 4/4. He could double block. That's fine. Then we have this and we have this. So put a counter here. I get rid of Selfless Savior, which is good. Could also just cast this as a creature. No, that's fine. Let's attack. It's a 2-for-1 trade, so I'm going to take it. He has a double block here and then sack. So even if he double blocks and say sacks protects one of them, I have... Oh, this is dumb. I should have casted this. I guess I'm animating Faceless Haven instead. All right, well, never mind. Yeah, I should have cast this because I believe Blade Historian isn't 4 power or greater. So should have casted this, and I could have casted it with with this and still hold up Faceless Haven. So that's what I should have done, but we still won. All right, let us play some Orzhov in best of one. It's pretty much black, or it's pretty much mono white with black added for the removal and the creature. The Lurching Grandpa. Lurching Grandpa. Opponent goes first. We have a turn 1. We have a turn 2, turn 3. Sure, we'll keep. We have a 1, 2, 3. So play this, reveal this, play this. These lands are really good for aggro decks because like we're playing against Sultai, I guess, or something like that. What did he foretell that's in those colors? I'm assuming this is Sultai, right? Like, so the question is, do I play this and call out something like Cultivate so they can't ramp or something? Because I'm trying to think, what could be foretold in those colors? Unless he's missing, obviously, blue, but then he doesn't have Yorion, so what could that be? All right, we'll wait. Put it here. Not revealing Yorion, so maybe it's not the ultimatum deck. But I'm not really sure what this foretold card could be then. So we got that, okay. And then obviously next turn we're going to put it on this guy. I put it on this guy just so I could do 2 more damage. That's the only, I mean, obviously, or 1 more damage, I guess. I guess maybe it's not worth it and I should have just put it the 1 here. But I also try to kill him, you know, as soon as I can. Whoa. Ah, interesting. Okay. Interesting. That's okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Protect it. Giant Killer. So put this out. What do I call? I mean, I don't know what he's playing, so next turn I could play this to grab this back, so I'm just gonna do, I could just hold this up too, but no, we're just gonna play this. All right, so what are we calling here? I guess I could call another packmate, because maybe Heartless Act, eliminate. We have 2 evens though. So, all right, we'll call out Heartless Act, I guess. I'm just gonna play this out as a creature so I can start using it maybe to tap down. Yeah, I'll put it here. We'll put it there. I need the creature. I have a creature in this deck that can, so maybe another packmate. I have a creature in this deck that can look at their hand. So I guess we're gonna call out packmate here now. SARUF. Wait, what the heck? SARU. There you go. I could tap this guy down, I guess. Nope, that was dumb. I already went to combat. Never mind. I guess I'll just tap it down and step. I messed up. I should have tapped it down. I mean, now Extinction Event kind of ruins me. So, I guess, okay, 3 mana. 3 mana concede. 3 mana concede. All right, opponent. Okay. So I'm assuming, yeah, it was, right? Because we get to see the exile. Yep, it was. There it is. So we would have drew a card here and he would have lost 3 lives. So yeah, there we go. So I guess that's why he decided to concede. All right. Sounds good. Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel, or I should say welcome to the Sideboard guide. As you saw, we just played up against a few of the decks with this deck, and we're playing. This is StrixHaven against mono white, or you want to call it Orzhov Aggro or black white, whatever. But StrixHaven just released. You just saw the matches we played against a few decks here. I think we played against, what was it? We played against Ultimatum. We played against mono white. We played against red white aggro. Some kind of green black mid range. So, and when we played against, red and stuff like that, also off the video. So it's a pretty solid deck. Obviously, this deck is already kind of established prior to StrixHaven as being a mono white aggro deck, and it was a solid deck. But with the new set, StrixHaven, I wanted to add some black to it and see how that would change. Because some of the cards for black, obviously at a sideboard, is a lot stronger. And this card, I like this card a lot, so that's why I wanted to add black. And same with this, like 2 mana exile monocolored card in a best of one is very good, since most of the best of one games are against decks that are monocolored decks, with the exception of Sultai Ultimatum. But you play against Team Returns, they're all monocolored cards. Mono white's all obviously mono white, red's all mono red. So 3 of the 4 decks being played have monocolored. And this is the 2 mana cost that could remove any non-land card, mono-colored permanent. I'm wondering if it could also, it says exile target mono-colored permanent. I mean, a land's technically a permanent, so I'm gonna have to test that out and see how that works out. But if it does work that way too, that's pretty spicy to be able to 2 mana remove a land. But either way, it removes anything. Let's just pretend like it doesn't target a land. It removes anything other than a land that has a single color. So it's a very solid card. So I wanted to run it because I wanted these 2 cards. Like I said, this card synergizes well with Elite Binder. You play Elite Binder, take a card out of their hand, make it cost 2 more, and then you have access to their hand. So then you can use this Silverquill Silencer to call out one of those cards in their hand, and then when they play it, they lose 3 life and you draw a card. And since you're an aggro deck, them losing 3 life, it's pretty big. So that's why we have it black white or Orzhov. This deck is played both as a best of 1 deck, obviously, because you could play it as best of 1 or best of 3. So if you're playing it as a best of 1 deck, don't even worry about this best of 1 sideboard, because there's no cards in here that learn or have lesson in here. But if you play it as a best of 3, then yes, the sideboard will work out for you in that aspect. But on the video, I've only played it as a best of 1 deck. So let's just see. If you want to take it to best of 3 though, this is the sideboard, and I'm going to give you the sideboard guide for it for best of 3 here. Otherwise, just take it how it is. You can change it a little bit if you like. But so far, this looks like this has been working out for me. The only 1 card that I can think of that maybe I'm hesitant on is the 1 Skyclave Shade, but I added in there against like rogue decks. If they mill me, I can then cast this out of the graveyard. Obviously it doesn't remove anything out of my graveyard, but I get to cast it and then maybe put like Mauler or stuff, some other stuff on there. So that's why I have 1 in there. But let's get into the sideboard guide. So if you're playing, like I said, in best of 1, don't worry about the sideboard guide. Just take the deck, try it out, see how you like it. But if you want to play this on best of 3, which you can, because I've seen this deck, I've seen mono white, I should say, in best of 3 a lot. So if you want to play this in best of 3, you can, and here's your sideboard guide to help you out. So the first deck you're going to see is probably going to be Sultai Ultimatum. So if you're playing against Sultai Ultimatum, what you want to do is you want to bring in 4 Humiliates, 3 Dreaded Magistrates, and 1 Redain. So Humiliate, what it does is, here, I'll pull this aside. So what Humiliate does is you look at their hand, discard a non-land card from that, and then put a 1/1 counter on your creature. So in other words, you take out like their Sultai Ultimatum, or you take out their Extinction, Shadow's Verdict, whatever, something big, and then you pump your creatures. So you want to bring those in. You want to bring in the 3 Dreaded Magistrate because this stops the Emergent Ultimatum. It says opponents can't cast spells anywhere other than their hand. So if they play Emergent Ultimatum, they can't cast it because those cards are not in their hand. So they can't cast the 2 cards they get from Ultimatum. So it stops them from playing Ultimatum. And then you obviously bring in the Redain because you want to use it as the creature side because it makes everything more expensive. 4 costs or higher makes it more expensive by 2. So instead of a turn 7 Emergent Ultimatum, it becomes a turn 9. Extinction Event becomes a 6 mana play. Shadow's Verdict 7 mana play, etc. So those are the reasons why I bring in those cards in against Ultimatum. And then what I take out is I take out 2 Giant Killers. Obviously they're not running, the only creatures they might have is what, Vorinclex, Yorion, and I believe a Polukranos, because they're going to probably try to cast Valky. Anyways, you can't even kill Valky, but they're going to probably try to cast Valky as Tibalt. So this doesn't do anything against their deck. I cut 3 Vanishing Verses because they don't really play that many permanents outside of, so they play Wolf of Haven. You could exile that, sure. You can't touch Binding of the Gods, so don't even worry. I mean, there's no reason to have it. You can remove their Planeswalkers. So, no, you can't, because Tibalt is black-red. So you can't even touch their Planeswalkers. You can hit Vorinclex, and you can hit Wolf of Haven. You can't touch Yorion or anything like that. So it's a useless removal spell against them. So I take that out. And I cut 3 Skyclave Apparitions because, like I said, they're not really putting too much permanents in play, and the permanents they put in play already kind of gain value. Like, are you really gonna Skyclave Apparition and Omen of the Sea? No, because they already scryed and drew their card. So I cut those cards and bring those in. So that's against Sultai Ultimatum. Now the next deck you're gonna most likely see is Temur Churn, Temur Obosh, whatever they want to, whatever it's called. And against that, it's a little more, easy. What I just bring in is 3 Dreneth Magistrate, because once again, this prevents them from playing both the spell side of the adventure and then casting the adventure card. So if you have Dreneth Magistrate in play, they can't cast the sorcery or instant side, because once it goes into their adventure zone, Dreneth Magistrate stops them from casting it out of their adventure zone, because those cards are no longer in their hand. They can't cast it from their adventure zone. So I bring in 3 Dreneth Magistrates against that deck for that reason. And I cut 1 Skyclave Shade. It doesn't really do anything. It's a 3/1 body against a 5/5 or 4/3, and Skyclave Shade can't block. It's not worth it. This also trades with their 1/1 tokens from Lovestruck or anything like that, so it's not worth it. And I cut 2 Redains because Temur Obosh is odd, like, or Temur whatever. They're all like odd creatures or odd cards, and everything is 3 costs or less except for, let's say, Goldspan Dragon and the Outrun's Epiphany. So outside of those 2 cards, their mana cost is 3 or less. So this doesn't do anything because Redain only affects 4 costs or higher. Sure, you get to make Goldspan Dragon cost, 2 extra, but it's not worth it. Or Outrun's Epiphany. It's not worth it to have those 2 cards in there for that reason. So that's what I do against a Temur Obosh, Temur Churn's deck. And then obviously you're going to see red, mono red, aggro, whatever you want to call it. And what I bring in is 3 Dire Tactics, because you run enough humans in here. I believe it's, let's see, 2, 6, 10, 14. I believe he's a human. So you're running around somewhere between, like, let's say 14 to 17 humans. So you shouldn't really be taking damage from this. And it's a 2 mana instant spell exile effect, so that might matter because they're running the Phoenix, and the fact that you can exile the Phoenix is good because then they won't be able to recast it. It's a removal for 2 mana, so I bring in 3 Dire Tactics, and I bring in 1 Redain for the purpose of, okay, so Redain is good here for 2 reasons. One reason is since mono red plays nothing but snowlands and I think Shadow Skull, and all their lands will come into play. So you can cast this as a creature, and then their lands come into play tap, and that's very great against aggro decks. If you're taking them a turn off against aggro, you're going to be in a huge advantage. So right off the bat, the creature side's really good against them. Then the artifact side's also good against them because all their permanents do 1 less damage to you. So they're trying to, obviously they're an aggressive deck. They're trying to attack your life points down. So taking 1 less damage from all the creatures that are attacking you is going to be huge. So that's why I bring in Redain for that reason. And yeah, he is a human. So I bring in Redain for that, both the creature and the artifact. And then I cut Skyclave Shade. Once again, it doesn't do anything because they have 1/1s that can just easily block this, and I can't block any of their creatures. I cut one Elite Spellbinder because their creatures are so low curve that, you know, adding 2 extra mana does, I mean, it does hurt them, but it's a 3/1 that dies to any of their any cost, you know, 1 power, especially the 1-drop with First Strike that gives +1/1 to other knights, I believe. It just eats, I mean, this has flying, I guess, so it evades it, but this gets eaten by Stomp, by Frostbite, and so for 3 mana, I don't want to really be doing that. And then I cut one Silverquill. Since I'm cutting one Elite Spellbinder, I also cut one Silverquill. That's the reason why I cut that. So that's against mono red. The last deck I'm going to give you a sideboard guide to will be obviously Rogues. Unfortunately, Rogues is going to be tough just because you have nothing really escape-wise. But you're an aggro deck, so hopefully you should be able to get aggressive against them and beat them down before they can set up with their counter spells, their Into the Stories, their mill plan. So you should hopefully be good against Rogues, but obviously Rogues is going to be a tough one just for that reason. But like from my experience, mono white usually beats Rogues, so it should stay the same. You have a lot of removal. You have, you know, 3 Vanishing Verses. You have 3 Skyclave Apparitions. You have indestructible cards with both Selfless Savior and Seasoned Hallowblade. You can look at their hand. Obviously, since you're playing against Rogues, Silverquill, you can call specific cards and you know it's going to happen. Either they're creatures or Drown the Lock or Into the Story. You call one of those 3 different types and you know it's going to happen. So, but against Rogues, what I bring in is 2 Strict Protectors and 3 Humiliates. So I bring in the Strict Protectors because the reason why is because it prevents them from milling you. So let's say if they have, what is it? The not Soaring Thought Thief, but the Guild Enforcer, I think it is. If they have Guild Enforcer, the one that whenever a rogue enters the battlefield and mills you cards, they cast another rogue to come and play. It counters the ability unless they pay 2 life. So this prevents them from milling you faster. I mean, unless they're going to pay 2 mana. So if they're going to cast, say, Soaring Thought Thief, and then pay 2 mana just to mill you for 2 or 3 cards, they just paid 4 mana to mill you for 2 or 3 cards. So this card's going to be good against him. So I bring it against that. On top of that, he's a 1/3 flyer. So he can block the 1-drop blue creature that, you know, when he attacks, he mills you a card. Or when he does damage, he mills you a card. And then the Humiliates because you want to look at their hand and pick out key cards like Into the Story, Drown the Lock, you know, stuff like that. So I bring in those 5 and I cut out 2 Giant Killers because you're not going to be able to kill anything. All their creatures are 1/3s or 2/1s or 1/1s or 3/2s. I mean, you can use the second half of it to tap creatures down, but I didn't find it great enough to keep. I cut 1 Maul, the Skyclave, just because they're most likely going to counter this, and it's a 3 mana spell that they might counter. So 3 should be good enough. And obviously I cut Redain because their cost is, I believe all their cards are 2 costs or less, with the exception of Loras and Into the Story. So Redain won't do anything either as a creature or as the artifact. I guess the artifact makes it so they have to pay an extra mana or 2, whatever, to target and destroy your creatures, but you're paying 4 mana to do that. It's not worth it. So that's what I do against Rogues. So that's the sideboard guide against the top decks, I guess, in Standard right now. Obviously, the StrixHaven release, you know, I mean, these decks might change around. These might not be the decks, but this is prior to StrixHaven release. These would be the decks that you would see. And I don't think StrixHaven will change the meta that much. So you still should see these 4 or 5 decks. So, but yeah, that's the sideboard guide. Hopefully this helps you out. Like I said, I played it in best of 1 mainly right now, but I built the sideboard in case you want to play it as a best of 3. And you've clearly, I've seen it several times, mono white in best of 3, and I'm sure you have. So it's a very solid deck. I've lost to mono white several times in best of 3. So, but yeah, that's the sideboard guide. Hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, the deck intro. If you haven't done so already, you're new to the channel, go ahead and please hit that subscribe button so you can see my future videos. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Oh, also before I leave, go ahead and drop some comments in the comment section down below, for any advice you would give me on either changing the deck or, things you've tried to make the deck better, whatnot. Go ahead and drop some comments down below. I love to hear feedback on the decks that I pose because I want to make the deck better every time. Also check the description of the video because I have both the mobile text, so you can export it onto your mobile easily by copy paste, and I also have the Aether Hub deck list, so you can port it to your PC easily. So check the description. Drop some comments down if you play this deck. Let me know how you guys do with the deck and give me some feedback. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.